Hi, my name is Fred Weidemann. I'm a systems engineer at Morefield Communications out of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. And I wanted to share a informal video post for organizations that may have the need to stream information to a specific audience. At Morefield, we deal with a lot of unified communications platforms, and we commonly set up WebEx, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and assist in getting those type of technologies set up for organizations. We're really great at it. The story I'm going to share is a little bit different. I specifically had an experience where my church needed to activate a YouTube Live streaming capability. This was because of the coronavirus social distancing restrictions that were put on our state. So, with very little time and not a whole lot of budget, we pulled this off. Our first attempt at this was pretty good, and I'll explain some of the roadblocks and struggles that we ran into. It wasn't a complete failure, but it could have been better had I known a few things in advance. So, the first thing that I ran into, our organization chose the YouTube platform as our preferred platform simply because you can organize your videos well. This technology works on Facebook Live. There are also some other streaming platforms like Ustream and some other platforms that are a pay for service that take away advertising. If that's a concern for your organization, you may want to look at that. It's hard to moderate other content on YouTube that pops up right after your own video. It could be targeted ads based on your content or some keywords. And you just don't have a whole lot of control. But if you're okay with that, this is a great platform. It's free to use and certainly is very solid and very reliable platform. The first thing that we ran up against was that we created a new account for my church organization, and I went to do my first test and activated the streaming service on my account. And I realized that, hold on a second, I can't do that right now because YouTube has a 24-hour waiting period from when you turn on live streaming to when you can actually live stream. This was done as a preventative measure for basically bad actors that may want to do something on the spur of the moment. It basically slows the process down. It's intentional, and I think from a web community, it's a good thing. But I didn't know that, so it was a good thing for you to know. And you're not going to do it fast if you haven't already turned that on. The next thing is that I wanted to create a custom URL for our stream, and I realized that on YouTube there are several prerequisites that need to be in place before you can actually customize a URL to your streaming page. One is you need to have at least 100 or more subscribers. Hopefully that's not something that's going to be terribly difficult to do, but you might need to spread the word and have people help you out with that. The second is your account has to be at least 30 days old. That's a pretty big restriction, and obviously in the midst of this current situation, that time will pass, and we can get through that. And once 30 days comes, in my case, we haven't customized our URL. It's not a big deal, but if that's something you're looking for, it takes 30 days. You also have to have uploaded photo or a channel icon, and you also have to have channel art that's been uploaded. Essentially, they want you to have a legitimate page up that's branded well and looks professional. YouTube has a whole set of resources. If you go into your channel on YouTube, there are help links that have all sorts of great guides for success. I don't want to go into all of those, but they're there as a resource. And that's a good thing. The next thing that we ended up doing was once the 24-hour period passed, was we decided to do a test. It's one thing that YouTube really recommends, is that when you get your channel up and running, don't just think that you're going to need to just hit the switch and bang your podcasting or video blogging or getting your message out live. You want to do a few tests. The one nice thing is, in your YouTube account, when you start a session, you can choose up to 3 different settings. One is a public setting, and the other one is a private setting, and then the other one is, I think, just subscribers. I will look into that and get that information accurately. But if you set your test stream to private, you have to have a specific link to view that. It does not show up on your channel or your page. It's basically hidden from the public. So that's a great place to do a test stream. And you're going to notice right off the bat that when you start shooting video, you might notice that in your background, you might have something that you never noticed. You have a water bottle or a trash can or something that looks sloppy. And until you go in there and look at it, you're not going to notice that. So you do want to kind of think about lighting your set, your props. Just doesn't need to be super fancy, but in order for a nice clean look on your video, you want to think about those things. I happen to be sitting at my home office that I set up about a week and a half ago, and it's right in front of a window. I got a lot of nice natural light, and I also have a desk lamp on my desk, which is giving me some other key lighting. And if you want to search the web for good lighting techniques, Vimeo has some great resources, and I'm sure YouTube has some other good resources. But there you go. Those are some initial things. When we ran our test, we realized that we had some opportunities to fix and clean up some audio, possibly camera angles. But it was really helpful to do, and that's the gist of our first go-around. Another issue we ran into when we first did our test, we were using the web-based interface that YouTube offers. You can stream live right from their online studio that they have, and the web-based version, after our first week of broadcasting, we realized that there was some odd things going on with some audio. I honestly don't know the exact reason why the audio sounded a little bit compressed and swirly a little bit. One thing we did make sure of was that the computer we were using had a hardwired internet connection. In some of our very early testing, we noticed that on our wireless, even though it was fairly robust, we had a couple packet drops and the image froze a little bit, and definitely the audio wasn't quite as clean. The next thing that we ran into was the software-based solution didn't seem to really be cutting it. And so I was well aware of, and we sell hardware that will produce an AV bridge, so you can pull your audio in as well as a video signal from a camera and bring those into a bridge, and the hardware gets set as an RTMP feed, which is another way to do your YouTube stream. It's a little bit different. YouTube offers you an RTMP key that you get on your channel and is actually set up at the beginning of each stream. And either your hardware, or in our case, we used a software solution that we gave the software the information for the RTMP feed key for our account. What this does is YouTube sees that key and says, this is this specific account. It's very long, fairly secure, 12, I think it's 12 characters or 16 characters long. And secure method for them to know, hey, this is very likely, unless someone has stolen your key, this is definitely an authenticated handshake, and your stream will then go live. We decided after our first week that we really needed to use the RTMP technology. And so I did some research, and I heard about and have very infrequently used a software package called OBS. It's Open Broadcast Software. Now, Open Broadcast Software is an open source platform that is very mature. It's pretty secure and robust. A lot of people are using it. And open source software that's, I think they started in 2012. So it is about 8 years old in the making. It is a multi-platform, so it's good on Windows, Mac OS 10.12 and greater, and Linux. Has software downloads for all three of those operating systems. Again, it's free, and with any good open source platform, when you're using the software and you love it, I would encourage you to certainly contribute to that open source project. They have a lot of good professionals that come in and contribute, and it's a way for that platform to stay alive and to utilize the space on the web that they need. Anyway, so you want to download that software, and it is a presentation software like no other. It gives you a mini production studio right in your desktop, and if you download it and get it set up, you'll notice that it has some really good features. It has high performance, real-time audio capture and mixing. You can create scenes that are made up of multiple sources, including window captures, images, text, browser windows, web cameras, capture cards. The gaming industry, the professional sports gaming industry, uses this software quite a bit. You can create scenes, so throughout your presentation, you can build the right resources on the screen, put it all together. The other great thing that this software offers is that it can be recorded, or it can be streamed, or both. YouTube will capture your live recording and archive it. But if you have a few pieces that you might need to put together later, you can certainly choose to do a pre-recorded version and put it all together, record it, and then push it to your channel. You don't need the advanced live settings that we're talking about today. You can just upload your content and turn it on your channel. Has very good audio mixing, good meters. You can do filters, noise gates. If you're an audiophile, you'll find it has a robust feature set. Has a lot of configuration options, optimizing your video, your output, your bit rate. All things, I don't want to overwhelm you with too much technical information, but it's very robust, very mature open source platform. And in our case, I highly recommend it. It really was a great tool to use. The way that we utilized this was one of the things it can do is a window capture. So if you're used to a presentation software like PowerPoint, our church used a software called Easy Worship. There's also Pro Presenter. But if you just wanted to use PowerPoint and push it to a second display, in the software, you can create essentially a display capture. So everything that's on that second display is really what's being broadcast. It's like having a separate TV that's taking your presentation from PowerPoint and pushing it out. You can do voiceover that's live, and if you don't want it to be full screen, you could also slightly shrink it down and do a picture-in-picture with your webcam feed, similar to how we're doing it right now. And really great software, great package. And in my situation, when we did our second week of live streaming, the audio quality was greatly improved. All the bandwidth and weirdness in the audio had resolved. And the OBS, along with the YouTube streaming service with the key, was just a great solution. It was something that ultimately, other than the video camera that I bought, we really could have not spent $1 and brought all this technology together to produce a great live web stream if you need to get messaging out to your organization. So certainly, Morefield has a lot of resources. We have several really good AV technicians on site. We have engineering staff, project management, and if this seems like it's something you really want to do, but it's way over your head, we're here to help. We're really committed to helping our partners and customer base to get messaging out. It's an unprecedented time right now, and everybody has to switch up their methodology, and there's restrictions in place that we never really thought were plausible, or we almost couldn't even imagine the situation that we're all in right now. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please call us at Morefield. We can certainly answer a few simple questions. If it's something that you want to set up and hey, we have a few questions about our IT infrastructure, can we handle the bandwidth? We have people that can assess that and make recommendations. If you do need to make some changes to your infrastructure, we have the talent to do that. If you just need a good unified communication platform, we can also do that as well. And I hope that we can be a resource, a trusted resource and partner that you can trust. We'd love it if you called. We'd love to help you be successful in your messaging and getting through this weird time. So, hey, thanks for joining me. I hope, again, this was really helpful. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks.